What if the smallest iPad Apple makes suddenly becomes the most exciting one in the entire lineup? What if the iPad mini, a device many people see as cute or secondary, quietly turns into a mini powerhouse that challenges even the iPad Pro? Because according to the latest leaks, that is exactly what Apple is planning. The iPad mini 8, expected in 2026, is not a normal upgrade. This is not a simple refresh. This is Apple changing the rules for compact tablets. And once you understand what is coming, you may never look at small devices the same way again. For years, the iPad mini has had a loyal fan base. People love it because it fits anywhere. One-hand use, easy to carry, perfect for reading, gaming, sketching, and travel. But it always came with compromises. LCD display, no promotion, no pro-level features. That may finally change. Leaks now suggest that Apple is preparing the most powerful and premium iPad mini ever made. A device that feels less like a small tablet and more like a shrunken iPad Pro. The biggest upgrade everyone is talking about is the display. OLED is coming to the iPad mini. And yes, this is massive. OLED changes everything. Blacks become truly black. Colors become richer and deeper. Contrast jumps to another level. When you watch a movie, shadows look real. When you read at night, text feels sharper and easier on the eyes. When you play games, everything looks more alive. Compared to the LCD panels Apple has used on the Mini for years, OLED is a huge leap forward. OLED is not just about looks. It is also about efficiency. Because each pixel lights itself, OLED screens use less power, especially when showing dark content. That means better battery life. For a compact device like the iPad mini, this matters a lot. You want something you can throw in a bag and forget about charging anxiety. Even if Apple uses a single-layer OLED instead of the dual-layer version found in the iPad Pro, the improvement will still be obvious from the moment you turn on. There is one small disappointment floating around in the leaks. The refresh rate is expected to stay at 60 Hz. No promotion, no 120 Hz. Some people will complain about that, and that is fair. A higher refresh rate makes scrolling smoother and games feel more responsive. But in real-world use, the jump from LCD to OLED will be far more noticeable than 60 Hz versus 120 Hz. For most users, OLED alone will already feel like a night-and-day upgrade. There are also rumors that the display could be slightly larger. Not dramatically bigger, but enough to notice. Possibly moving from 8.3 inches to somewhere between 8.5 and 8.7 inches. Apple could do this by shrinking the bezels or slightly adjusting the body size. Because OLED panels are thinner than LCD, the iPad mini 8 could also become slimmer. Lighter, more premium in the hand. Something closer to the feel of an iPad Pro, but still ultra-portable. Now let's talk about the design, because this is where things get really interesting. Some leaks suggest Apple may finally bring water resistance to the iPad mini. This would be a first for any iPad. Imagine that. Using your iPad mini near a pool, reading by the beach, taking notes in the rain. No stress, no panic, no rushing to wipe it dry. That alone would completely change how people use this device. Apple may achieve this through a redesigned internal structure. One rumor points to a vibration-based speaker system. No traditional speaker holes. Sound produced through internal vibration, similar to what we have seen in some experimental designs. This could reduce entry points for water and dust. The big question is sound quality. Apple usually does not compromise here, so expectations are high. If they pull this off, it would be another major win for the Mini. With OLED and internal redesigns, the iPad mini 8 could be the slimmest Mini ever. A device that feels dense, solid, and premium, not toy-like. Something that finally matches its price and power with its physical feel. For people who love minimal gear, this matters more than specs on paper. Speaking of power, this is where Apple really shows its ambition. The iPad mini 8 is rumored to feature the A20 Pro Chip. Let that sink in. A pro-level chip inside the smallest iPad Apple makes. This is not normal. This is Apple treating the Mini as a serious performance device. The A19 Pro will bring insane single-core performance. Apps will open instantly. Multitasking will feel effortless. Heavy tasks like video editing, photo processing, and advanced gaming will run smoothly. While it is not an M-series chip, the A19 Pro is more than powerful enough for almost everything most users do on an iPad. The iPad mini already made history by being the first non-Pro device to use a Pro chip when it adopted the A17 Pro. Moving to the A19 Pro feels like the next logical step. Even if Apple slightly limits the GPU compared to the full version, the performance will still be far ahead of what people expect from a device this size. Imagine playing AAA games on a compact OLED screen. Smooth frame rates, rich colors, deep blacks. Games like Genshin Impact, Resident Evil, or future console-level titles running without struggle. This is no longer just a tablet. This is a portable gaming machine. Battery life is another area where the Mini could surprise everyone. iPads already have strong endurance, around 10 hours on average. With OLED efficiency and the A19 Pro's improved power management, leaks suggest the iPad Mini 8 could push even further, possibly up to 20% better battery life compared to the current model. That means longer reading sessions, longer flights, more work done without hunting for a charger. For students, travelers, and professionals, this alone could justify an upgrade. A small device that lasts all day is incredibly valuable. Cameras may also see meaningful upgrades. The rear camera might stay similar because most people do not use iPads as main cameras. But the front camera is where Apple could make a real difference. Rumors suggest an 18-megapixel front camera, similar to what we expect on future iPhones. That means better video calls, sharper image, better low-light performance. Combined with Center Stage, the iPad Mini could become an excellent tool for remote classes, meetings, and content creation. Holding a compact tablet that delivers clean, professional-looking video is a big advantage. Connectivity is another quiet but important upgrade. Cellular versions of the iPad Mini May 8th include Apple's newer modem technology, possibly the C1X or C2 modem. Faster speeds, lower latency, better battery efficiency. For people who rely on mobile data, this makes the Mini even more appealing as a true on-the-go device. Now let's talk about price, because this is where opinions will be divided. With OLED, a Pro chip, possible water resistance, better cameras, and improved connectivity, the iPad Mini 8 is expected to cost more. Leaks suggest a starting price around $599, up from $499. Is that expensive? Yes. Is it unreasonable? Not really. When you look at what you are getting, the value starts to make sense. A compact device with near-pro performance, a premium display, and features that no other small tablet offers. Compared to larger iPads or folding phones, the Mini could actually feel like a smarter purchase. And this is why the iPad Mini 8 could be a game changer. It sits in a unique space, bigger than a phone, smaller than a traditional tablet, powerful enough for serious work, portable enough for daily carry, perfect for reading, gaming, note-taking, drawing, watching movies, and video calls. For people who want the benefits of a foldable phone without the fragility or price, the iPad Mini could be the answer. For people who find large tablets uncomfortable, this could replace their main device. For students and creators, it offers freedom without compromise. As for the release date, current leaks point to late 2026, possibly around September. Apple may use the iPad Mini as the first step in its wider OLED transition. If that happens, the Mini will once again be ahead of the curve, just like it was when it adopted USB-C and Pro chips before other iPads. So should you upgrade? If these leaks turn out to be true, the answer is yes. Absolutely yes. Especially if you care about portability, but do not want to sacrifice power or display quality. Even with a 60Hz screen, the combination of OLED, A19 Pro, and possible water resistance makes this one of the most exciting Apple products in years. In my opinion, this could be the best iPad Mini Apple has ever made. Not just a small iPad, but a serious device with a clear identity. A Mini Pro without the Pro price. If Apple executes this correctly, the iPad Mini 8 could quietly become one of the most loved Apple devices of the decade. And if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future updates.